Alright, welcome back. I hope you don't mind, but what I did was I went out, meanwhile I off-screened some of that, and I leveled up my party some because it had been a while, and everybody inside the entire party just pretty much went up 2 levels, which means that the cleric can now cast level 7 spells. I'm assuming that Cure Body means Divine Intervention, because, you know, Nintendo and their whole, you know, don't talk about religion stuff. But anyways, I think Nova is supposed to be Sun Ray, or Sunbeam. It's just a burst of sunlight on a target, and it'll hurt them for 50 to 100 points of damage. Bless 2, I imagine, would be Holy Word, which just outright slays any undead creature. Life 2 would probably be Resurrection, which means even if you're eradicated, you're brought back to life, though at a price of some age. And Protection from Elements should be all the protection spells rolled into one. So let's cast it. Yep, Fear, Cold, Fire, Poison, Acid, Electricity. The only thing we don't have is Magic Protection, and I assume that's the domain of the mages. Yeah, because I can't seem to find any other magic-resistant ones. Yeah, and mages, as you see, get protection from magic, so let's cast that. Protection. We now have 31% protection from magic, too. So we are set to be pretty badass. The sword, what sword does is it basically just creates a sword that does anywhere from about 20 to 30 points of damage, but it affects people in the front row, the back row, and there's almost no chance to resist it. Ash? I have no idea what Ash is supposed to do. I don't know. I think Warp is Etherealize, and I think Create Item means Duplicate Item? I'm not sure, but I'll research that later on. I'm not sure what Ash does either. I'll have to look that up. Anyways, let's just keep on going. Open that door. We're just gonna head straight onwards. Open, says me. Ooh, this could be dangerous. A lot of these are breathers, meaning that they do breath attacks on you. So you're going to want to get rid of them as fast as you possibly can. Oh man, it's an outdoor spell only too? Oh well. Well, as long as they don't try to kill Garana. That's the important thing. And I'll show you how this spell works. So everybody in the front row, 30 points of damage, 30 points of damage, 30 points of damage. It goes all the way to the back. Believe me, it might not seem like it, but this group warrants it. Because if breathers hit you, it's very painful. It doesn't matter so much to the front people, but it hits everybody inside the entire party, and it can whittle you down very quickly. You actually want to get them to the front of the group if possible, because whenever they're there, they have a chance of doing a melee attack. And a melee attack for 30 points of damage is better than 30 points of damage spread out across your entire party. And that person didn't have much health points left, so it didn't do much damage at all. We've got to be nearing Okrim's lair, though, because you're starting to see some very strange creatures, very difficult creatures to kill. He's got to be around here somewhere. Everybody's pretty good health-wise except for Sonya. We'll patch her up good as new. There doesn't seem to be much else in here. I'll open this back up. Open this back up too. seem to be much inside these doorways except for monster fights that are usually rather tough. But it's worth going through and exploring this every individual one of them, if just for the experience alone. Fireball them. I don't like to use that dancing sword too much because, while it is good and everything, it's also rather pricey on the gems. And Fireball, meanwhile it might be expensive magic point wise, it's not anywhere near as expensive on the gems. You can cast it and it might eat up only like a couple gems tops. Gem cost doesn't go up as the level goes up as well. If it's Chieftain Ogre, what's the difference between the Ogre Chief and a Chieftain Ogre? Oh, game. You're being just absolutely silly again. Overhead flail, he dies. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. Ah, well. And down they both go. Yay, a winner is us. The real problem will be just managing your gems later on, because, as you'll see, we started out with 100 and we're already down to about 90-ish. Make sure that you just stop to share your gems every now and then, and that you keep your party's health up. Don't obsess over getting the correct gems to everybody, because, as you'll see, the harder monsters that you fight, the more gems that you get back, and it won't be that bad of a problem. But you still want to keep an eye on them. If you start casting too many spells too hard and too fast, you might find yourself running low on them. Granted, some fights like this one warrant just casting as many of them as you can. Because in fights like this, it doesn't matter if you throw them in the back, throw them in the front, you've still got people coming up from the back to replace the monsters that you kill, and it's just annoying like that. We have a warlock in the back. All the more reason for us to use Dancing Sword, then. We'll bring him up front and cause him to not cast as often. It's annoying because cave giants really do hurt. I mean, even if they're in the back, they just start launching boulders at you. The warlock just runs away. Here I am like, oh no, it's a warlock, we're in trouble. Away. Keep Rachel's health up. Have him light bolt the rest of these. But yeah, we've got to be really close. If you're worried about running out of gems, another thing you can do is just